All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Here's page 2. So let's get started. I kind of filled in a lot of the beginning stuff to make this video go just a tick hair faster. So let's, for the first one here, simple enough, right? Remember we talked about, I want this term with the variable to be positive, okay? So that's why we subtract 2 instead of subtracting 8, because then that would be a -6. I don't want a -6, I want it to stay positive. Makes it easier to solve. And then you would divide by 6, so W equals -2, okay? The other one over here, set it up already the same thing. I did the distribution, 5y and 25. Combine like terms to get -3y. Now we just need to subtract 25, and then you would get -3y equals 3. Divide by -3, and you'd end up with y is -1. All right, the very next one, same thing, right? Do the distribution. So it'd be 2x and 2. Then you do it in one shot. All right, same thing though. This is a -4. I want to add the positive, so this is a positive variable down here. Then you would divide by 6, and you get x equals -6. The very last one, same thing. Now remember guys, it's very tricky with these. Watch the signs in front of every variable and every number and integer, okay? So positive, positive. Now this is a -4. Negative and a negative is positive. Negative and negative is a positive, right? Then you do the distribution there. Now you combine like terms. 18, 4, and you just drop that last one down, and now you finish it in one shot, right? So same thing. I'm going to go this way, -4w to make this a positive, which means if I'm going this way, I got to take the number the opposite way to take that to that side. So that is 14w, that's a 0, equals negative and a negative. So remember, -8 and -4 would be -12. Divide by 14, that's your answer, or it would end up being -6/7. Please make sure you guys can simplify. All right, done. All right, very challenging, but I want to make sure I challenge you this year a lot. Now sometimes we are going to have special solutions, okay? Now where we run into either a all real numbers situation or a no real solution, and I'll explain both of those, because let's go and simplify these just kind of like we have been doing, right? So do the distribution. This is negative, right? So this is going to be -6x, that's -6 plus 8x equals, and then we'll do 2x and a 6, right? So we got 2x minus 6. Combine these terms first on this side. When you do that, you get 8 minus 6 is 2x minus 6 equals 2x minus 6. Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen, these are exactly the same thing. Now, technically, what you're supposed to do is solve for both sides, and x would equal x, or 0 equals 0 is what you would end up with. So if they end up being the same at this juncture, you guys should know it's all real numbers. That is the answer. Because no matter what I put in x, is anything going to change? No, it's going to be the exact same on both sides. All right, so let's find out if you go the other way, right? So we have 3x and 3 and 2x equals, then we got 5x minus 5 plus 5. Right now, combine like terms. So on this side here, I got 3 and 2 is 5, plus 3 equals, and then negative and positive 5 cancels each other out, so I have 5x. Now, if I, ladies and gentlemen, at this point decide, all right, let me simplify it one more time, and I subtract 5x, well, 5 minus 5 is 0, plus 3 equals what? 0. So my equation ends up being like this, 3 equals 0. Which means what? Which means there is no real solution, okay? Whenever I throw this out, my only problem with this type of thinking is make sure you guys know the rarity at which it will occur that you will see the answer either be all real numbers or no real solution. Please on a test do not just start throwing out no real solution, because you will get it wrong, okay? Will you encounter some of those problems? Yes, but you got to do the right math. Do that last one on your own. All right, when you guys are doing that last one, do the distribution, negative 3y minus 3 plus 7y, there's a 4y plus a 4 minus a 7. All right, now combine like terms. All right, when you do that, you'd get 7 minus 3 is 4y minus 3 equals, and then I have a 4y and, oh look, minus 3. They're the same, so this is all real numbers. Okay, make sure you guys know the difference between the two, right? If it's the same like this, and they're equal to both sides, then you guys know it's going to be all real numbers. If you end up eliminating the variable, okay, and it ends up that they are not the same number because 3 is not equal to 0. Okay, if so, if you think that's the case, go ahead and give me $3 and I won't give you anything in return. Is that equal? No, it's not. Okay, all right, so last thing for today is we're going to talk a little bit about making sure you guys can solve equations with the steps, okay? Simplify expressions, use addition and subtraction first, and then use multiplication and division, all right? So make sure as you guys are going through this whole process that you guys can solve all of these steps. And this is kind of one of the things that was thrown in to make sure you guys know how to do it. All right, now we're going to, the very last little thing is we're going to do 2-word problems together here, and then you're going to answer 2, and then we'll be done, is making sure we kind of do these equations. Now, when we write these out, I want you guys to write these out in a particular way. And the main reason is to identify parts and pieces. And if you guys can do the sequence, then you'll understand how to actually solve this better, okay? I always try to break things down into little pieces before you go and do the larger one. All right, so we have 2 pools. It says the first pool, and there's a second pool. So what I want you to do is put first pool and the second. All right, this is what they equal, right? Precursor to set this up. All right, to start, the first pool had 817 liters of water. Okay, so we know number 1 has 817 liters of water. That was horrible, 817. Oh, let me fix that. There we go. I think that's a little better, it may not be. Second pool was empty. All right, so we know this one's got 0 in it. Water is being added to the first pool at a rate of 19 liters per minute. Now, what you guys need to know is when you have something per minute, we've talked about this before, right? It's going to be added at 19 liters per what? Minute. There's your variable. Water is being added to the second pool at a rate of 38 liters per minute. So this is going to be plus 38x. Let x be the number of minutes. I already did that. For each pool, write an expression for the amount of water in the pool after x minutes, then at the same amount. Okay, so here's what I got to make sure you guys understand. Here is the first part. Write an expression for after x minutes. We did that, okay? That's why I wanted you to write it as you see it. Now it says write it using the same amount. Well, it's simple enough. You're just going to rewrite this. So and here's the first equation. And it equals the what? Because they're the same amount. That's it. This is just a precursor to get you guys ready to write these equations. That's the answer. Simple enough. All right, so let's do it again here. All right, air traffic control is tracking 2 planes. Plane A, and then there's the plane B. So let's go plane A, and then a plane B. All right, so how are you doing this? Let's do it. All right, so on A, plane A has an altitude of 486 meters, so he's at 486. Plane B is just taking off. So when you're taking off, how far up off are you to the ground are you? That'd be a 0. All right, plane A is gaining an altitude at 18 meters per second. Plane B is gaining altitude at 27 meters a second. Let x be the number of seconds that have passed, and then x be the number of seconds that have passed. I wrote that twice, that's weird. But what do you think I want you to do? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to equal them to each other. That's it. Now, if you wanted to solve it, we could, right? We would do a multi-step equation, subtract 18 from both sides, and then you would divide by 9, and then you would know when both planes are at the same altitude, right? So when x is the same number, when they're kind of going up in separate paths, because one's up here, the other one's down there, you would know when they would meet at the same time. So we would know when would the plane be in the same air at the same altitude at the same time. It would be at x amount of seconds. The same expression goes for here, right? All right, what I want you guys to do is figure these two out and answer these. All right, same thing, okay? Susan, and we're not, Chang and Susan, we're not answering any of these yet, or simplifying, we're just writing the equation. Chang opened his account, so we got Chang and Susan. Make sure you guys annotate each one. Simplify, make a key, all right? Make sure you guys know what you're writing out. All right, so Chang opened his account. He started at 7:10. Good for him. And is going to take out $45 per month, okay? I wonder if that means he's gonna be taking out. So he's taking out 45. So he's taking out 45 per month, right? Susan opened her account with a starting balance of 85, and she's going to take out 65 a month. So she is like this. Let x be the total of months after today. So there's your equations, your two. Now you would make them equal to each other. So we got, it doesn't matter which one goes first. Usually, ladies and gentlemen, you wouldn't actually take out money, you would put it in. But, hey, I wrote it verbatim, so thank you, Alex. Right? So that's it. There's your equation. Maybe the word take out so they understand it's subtraction, which you actually wouldn't do in savings accounts, by the way, but you would add. So, but that's okay. All right, next one. Two pools are being drained. Pool one, first one, and second. They're being drained. Oh, these are negatives, that's why. Okay, so first pool has 3,500 liters of water, and the second one has 3,929 liters of water. Water is being drained from the first pool at a rate of 26 meters per minute. So if it's 26 per minute and it's being drained, that would be what? Subtraction. So please make sure, if you put addition there, then ladies and gentlemen, know you're not draining water, you're actually doing what? Adding to it. So there are two equations, and then you would simply put them to equals to each other. So it'd be 35 minus 226x equals that equation right there. And that's it. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this page as well. Make sure you guys separate, take things apart, identify, make a key. All year we're going to be talking about labels and making sure you can break things apart in your brain and make sure you can write these things down. All right, so go ahead and get ready for flip the page of the notes over and get ready for page 3.